Well, what are we talking about today? Well, I'll give you the heads up. It's all about not really the thing that stops you, but it is. But it's a thing that's going to make your dreams come true. And not just dreams, make everything come true. Because I've got this, well, I want to share with you some stories about things that got me to do things that I didn't think were, well, ever possible for me, Cluffy. And they were. And I want to show you a way that you're going to be extraordinary in creating your dreams. Have a listen. It'll be awesome. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about something else, and then we're going to get really into it. So 90 seconds. Now, we all know stress is not good for us. Well, too much stress is really bad. And it just builds up and builds up. What would it be like if you could really deeply relax? Really relax. Not just relax your muscles, but your mind, everything about you, just deeply relaxed through hypnosis. You see, what I've got is, well, I'll tell you what I haven't got. I haven't got a guided meditation that goes down to the riverbank and makes you feel relaxed for the moment. But what I have got are 2 tracks. One, a longer track, which guides your unconscious mind into deep relaxation, to relax and be comfortable in the mind and the body, every muscle, every fiber of you, just deeply relaxing, so you can learn at the unconscious level how to relax. And then a slightly shorter length hypnosis track to allow you to go into deep relaxation instantly and be there for just say 5 minutes. So in between meetings or whenever you just want to relax so quickly, so easily, you can just go there for 5 minutes. And then in between, you can use a longer track to have that longer experience, each time building up this skill of deep relaxation. How do you get it? Well, basically, you just go to paulclough.online.com/relax. There you go. 2 programs. Go and have a look. Give you a little video about it as well. Have a little listen. What would happen if it didn't work? Well, if it didn't work, there's a money back guarantee. So you have got nothing to lose. But what would happen and you got supersonically good at relaxing? Wouldn't that be awesome? Teach your body how to just relax and your mind to just relax. Just enjoy. Go to paulcloughonline.com/relax and check it out.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Okay, my unpluggers. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to be with you. It's Paul here. And before we talk about the one thing that stops you, I want to talk about something else. And here's the thing. Have you ever done something on impulse? That just let's go for it moment. The things that you suddenly do, maybe on an aha moment, or you get that burst of intuition that there's something you have to do. For me, I've got, loads of examples, but the one that hit me first, I guess, was, I've talked about being in a very down place at one time. I'm not going to go over that now because that's not the meaning of this, but after that, and part of my way of getting out of it was to write a book. I had this inspiration that I'm going to write a book of my journey through this dark place and how I got into the light, as it were. That's a lovely metaphor, Paul, but yeah, thank you. And the thing was, there was some obstacles in my way. I mean, the first being, if you've ever seen my writing or read my writing, my grammar is not as good as it could be. In fact, it's pretty poor. And therefore I go around the houses a little bit and things like that. And I've never written a book before. So what am I going to do? That's an obstacle, really, isn't it? So I thought to myself, no, that's not an obstacle, Paul, because I really want to do this. I'm going to record it. I'm going to record it on MP3s and make an audio book. I'll do an audio book. And I thought to myself, but you've never done that before either, Paul. You haven't got any audio equipment. So what did I do? I went out and bought some. I bought a nice mic and bits and pieces. And I struggled like a good one, because I couldn't get the noise right. I couldn't get the levels right. I didn't know how to have these master recordings and drop them down to, it was so bloody complicated. But the thing is, did that stop me? Did it how? I just carried on. I just carried on. And the thing about it was, I even then thought, audio's fine, but I'd like to put it in the written version. How do you do that? Well, do you know what? There are people who do that for you. And then I did that, and then I had to really edit it as much as I could, because it was lots of ums and ahs and, things like that. But hey, did it matter? So I've got it out. And the thing is, I've got it out, and it's on a website. It's free. I'm not going to tell you about it. If you want to go and see it, I think you'll find it's howtocopewithgrief.com, something like that. You'll have to Google it. It's free, and it tells you my story. But the thing is, a few people have downloaded it. It's not massive. Not a long read, really, but it was something important to me. But the thing is, what I do know is, the people who have read it have got something out of it. And that made all that hard work, those struggles, my little hero's journey to get it onto the web. So worth it. And then I thought to myself, yeah, okay, Paul, that's one of them. Now, think of another one. Well, I've told this story quite a few times, but my journey, I hope you can hear my throat. I've got a little sore throat, but I'll struggle through like a true man will. But starting this adventure of NLP, I really want to do NLP, and I started it through hypnosis. I haven't got a clue why, other than the person I've been recommended to go to said, you do hypnosis first, Paul. And I argued with him for months. And I couldn't even, and I think a lot of the argument was that, the argument was that I was scared. I was frightened to go away, because old Cluffy doesn't travel, or he didn't then. He didn't travel very far away from home. He didn't do anything which was out of the norm. I had my goals for my career, and they were pretty standard goals. Yeah, I achieved them, I bettered them, I did well, I think. But they were pretty norm, as they were. But the thing was, I had to make a decision. And it was bloody difficult, because it meant leaving a family at home for 2 weeks to do this thing called hypnosis, which I hadn't got a clue was. I hadn't got a real clue why I was supposed to do it. And it was all to do is to start this thing about NLP, which I had an idea. I had the completely wrong idea, mind you, but I had an idea what it was going to be about. And I had to take that step. And I told you before, I'm sure I've explained it before, the road from where I was living to the place that I was going to do it was miles and miles away. So that's why I said Cluffy doesn't travel. And I had to travel a long, long way away. Stay with people I didn't know from Adam. And that really frightened me. But I did it. And, what's been the result? Well, it's been a fantastic adventure, and it continues on. And there's been so many different things, but hang on, let's go one more. Let's go for 3. You're listening to me right now, and I'm so pleased. And hopefully you've got something from these podcasts, or if you're new, you will get something from these podcasts. There's got to be a takeaway, at least one takeaway from every podcast. If not, I'm not doing it right. But the thing is, I had this idea, this dream, to do a podcast. Because I've got some recording equipment now, remember? That it had been packed away, it got dusty, but I could do something. And then I thought to myself, I know nothing about podcasting. I don't know the first thing about what the type of recording you do now, how you put it out onto the web, how you got it onto iTunes. There's other stuff, and you have to register, and you have to have a platform. And what is a platform? Let alone, what are you going to talk about, Paul? Let alone, what are you going to call? And I just had this thing in my mind, Personal Development Unplugged. That was my little bit of aha inspiration. That's what I'm going to do. And I thought to myself, let's do it. We'll find a way. There's all these little obstacles, but, who cares? I mean, I could do it. And, now there's at least 4 or 5 of us together, but there could only be one of you. And that wouldn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. As long as you get something from this. And obviously, I'm getting something from it anyway. It's like my verbal journal, as it were. Because everything I'm talking about is a little bit about me anyway, isn't it? If you look deeply, and I do, everything I've talked about, all these hundreds of episodes now, are a little bit about me. And then I think of all the other little things, the other crazy little websites I've done. I've got a lovely one called Create Your Dreams, where it has a little Create Your Dream book and some hypnosis. Very few have bought it, but it doesn't matter, because it was something that filled me with some real, sense of achievement. But also, it was something that inspired me, and I'll come back to it. It's a project. It's work in progress. We're all work in progress, aren't we? So, I want you to think. I want you to think a little bit. Because these are my examples. And they're probably my biggest. So, it's not because I'm any good at this stuff. I've just picked out the best. Because I want to make that point. The point that, here's the thing, and I highlight this in my book. You and I are the same. What? What are you saying that, Cluffy? I'll tell you for why. Because we are both ordinary people. Now, I thought I was special, but I'm special, and I'll tell you for why. And you're special, and I'll tell you for why. We are both ordinary people with the capability of doing extraordinary things. Dreams. Making those dreams come true. And I did my little meta, I call it my little meta description of what this is all about, the one thing that stops you. It's deciding and committing. You have to decide. You have to commit. And I've noticed the things I've been talking about lately and the things I've been writing in my journal have been like going through this invisible barrier of our, what we call a comfort zone, which I keep banging on in my head. It's not a comfort zone at all, because going through it is bloody uncomfortable sometimes, but it's familiar. But my desire to go through it is bigger than the fear that's inside me, because that fear is just unjustified. It's not there. Because when we go through that, we're going to make those dreams happen. Because, as I said, we are ordinary people with the capability of doing extraordinary things, which makes us extraordinary. And we want to be the unnormal in normal surroundings. And that's not a word, unnormal, but, we want to be the difference in different places. Because when we make those dreams, and that's what it's all about here, isn't it? You and I encouraging each other to not only just think of those dreams, but create them. Using, I'm going to do the hows in a minute, but, just really create, knowing that if you've got a dream, it's going to be possible. Yeah, there's going to be some obstacles in the way. We've all heard about the hero's journey. You go out on that adventure. There's going to be some obstacles. You're going to get over them because they're going to teach you and learn you. Because you get learnt, in this way. They're going to learn you and have those learnings available to when you come back. And yeah, you're going to have to reintegrate all those learnings and share it with the people that you come back to, coming home, as it were. And you see, it's because we never decided to. We never decided to commit. That maybe sometimes those dreams didn't come true in the past. But that's only because we didn't have, I guess, the resources, the skills inside us at that particular time, or the inspiration, or just looking around, not just with our focal vision, but our peripheral vision, to see all the wonders that are available to us, not listening to this fake bloody news and things like that and having all this noise in the world, but actually start to see the things that are going to inspire us. And when they do, that's when the fears go. Because it doesn't matter. No one's going to die. You're going to be fine. If nothing else, you're going to learn the crap out of it. And that's going to help you on the next dream. And for those people who say you can't do it, who cares? Who cares what other people think? I can't say the word. Other people think. Because that's not your business. My son Joseph says that all the time in a lot of his talks that he gives. Other people's opinions are none of your business. They're theirs. And if you let them, if they're negative, if you let them encroach, it's like a virus. So just say, that's BS. I can do anything. All I have to do is to decide, to commit. And when I do that, with a couple of hows I'm going to give you, you're going to excel. And when you excel, that supposed comfort, familiar zone, just gets bigger and bigger. And we're going to crash through that and make it bigger, and crash through that one and make it bigger. Because, again, as we say, whatever you think you are, you're more than that. And being more than that, you're just going to keep on going. And that's what we're here for, I think. Oh dear. I'm not going to moan. I can carry on. Because doing extraordinary things because we're worth it. Only things that sometimes stop us are those negative beliefs. I'm not worth it. Because maybe I think I'm stupid. That's all BS. That's what people said a long time ago, and maybe we just picked it up along the way. Or it's just has that positive intention of not letting you get hurt, but it feels hurt when we don't do the things we dream of. So I want you to think for a little while. Maybe even now. Let's cast your mind back. What were the things that you did? Like on an inspired aha moment, or something that just got in your mind and you said, I'm doing that. Yeah, other people might say it's silly. Maybe I don't even know if I can do it. But you took action on it. Have a think back now. And they don't have to be the biggest ones in the world, the biggest successes in the world. The success was that you actually did it. You took action. Even the act of deciding and committing and taking action, that to me is a success, because you'll learn from it. So just have a little think. Think of those examples. And what I'd love you to do, because you can think about them, and as you think of the next one, maybe that first one just slides out of your ear into the ether. And we don't want them to slide and disappear, because I want you to remember them. So get old Jenny Journal out. And take pages, a couple of pages, one page, and just take some moment to pause, to focus, and just, set your intention to ask inside, what are the things that I did, which were different? My dreams, I took action on. Maybe they're the ones that were marvelous, were the biggest success in the world. But what are those small things you did? Because it's all about the richness of dreams and successes. They don't all have to be as big as Mount Everest. They can be as small as anything, but each one has its own sense of success. And that's what I'm saying, like that example of that book I wrote about, it's called It Doesn't Have to Be This Way. I remember now. It's how long ago it was. It's in my brain. I'm going to do something with that. I am. There'll be another inspired aha. Read by a few. and made a difference to those few. That's it. Only one person. And that one person started off with me because it was a success to me to actually do it. It was so cathartic to actually just do something that I knew was going to help somebody, but also was helping me at the same time. It inspired me to take further action because all those actions really, as I did them, were helping me come out of a dark place. So when I think about it now, and I forgot about it, should he just come out? That was my inspired action, to get out of a dark place and to do it and to think. I used to sit and think of what can I do next, like being my own therapist. I even wrote the bloody book about as if it was my best friend, And I think I've told you that I gave it to someone who writes books and said, "Would you have a little read?" And they said, "Yeah, it's really nice, Paul. Really good, really good." But it's bullshit. In as much as the first line tells you it's about you. So be brave. If you really want to make a difference, be brave. Because I'd taken that step. And I thought, well, if I've done all of this, I'll go and write out, instead of him, it was me. And I changed every word in that book that represented my best friend. And in fact, it was my best friend because it was inside. And that was another great success to me. But it was a great success because it's the difference that makes a difference. But the whole thing is, and it's the important thing, is to take a little bit of time to write these down. And be brave. No one's going to read it unless you show it to them. Be brave. And when I say be brave, it's like don't be modest. Because when you write them down, I want you to do something. Leave a little gap between them. I mean, you can throw them on the page and let's let your mind go not mad. Because we're not mad, are we? No, you know what I mean? Just be free. And just let them come out on your pen. And no editing. No stopping yourself. Just let your unconscious mind and your conscious mind come together with your pen and do that. And just write a little title for it. And then what I want you to do is this. I want you to take one. Just one of them. And really remember. Remember it. Or you could just remember it. But remember each individual inspirational moment. Go back to the beginning in your mind, as if you could rewind that memory to the point that you got that inspiration. Because I know with me, it was like something jumped inside started in my belly as excitement and a bit of fear, then into my heart, and then it was as if it was non-stop in my head. And the thoughts were coming and I just had to do it. It was like to get the website, Create Your Dreams. I just had to go and buy the bloody domain. I didn't know what I was going to put on it at that time, but I just knew I could put it all together. And I can remember it now, even I'm talking to you, sitting in my garden, back in another house, in my quiet space, the quiet space where I used to just write in my journal and think. But when I thought about this one, I made some notes. I can remember now, sitting in that chair with my bench. I used to light a little candle in front of me, and it was probably about 6:45 in the morning, and people, if they could see over the fence, look at me going, what is he doing? Because I had my cup of coffee, and I was getting, not frantic, but so excited, and I can remember it now. It was like a spring morning, so it felt fresh, smelt fresh. Not too much wind, and the sky was bluish with a few clouds, but it was that lovely spring summer type heat, just warm. And that coffee was just, the smell of the coffee was there, the light of that little flame, that little candle, and my journal. And I just had to start writing about what I wanted to do and then I got up. And the weird thing is, I got up straight up into my office at 7 o'clock in the morning now, looking on Google to get that domain name. I didn't got a clue what I was going to do. And I bought it. Then I sat down, went back into the garden again, and sat down and drank my coffee. And it was, that coffee tasted, man, the best coffee. Because it just mixed with those wonderful emotions. So when you remember yours, really see what you saw way back then. Rewind it to the beginning and go into that memory. You don't have to look at it as a movie of it and see yourself over there. Go back into it. See what you saw. Going back into your body and relive that inspiration. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. I mean, I heard birds. I heard a little breeze, and I got some bamboo in the corner, and that was making that little rustling noise. And that heat of the sun just coming up. Feel everything. See everything as it was. Smell and taste. And relive it. And feel that feeling. And then go to another one. And relive that too. Remember. Go back to the beginning. Go into the movie of it. See, hear, feel, smell and taste everything about that. And you see, this is the thing. That if you do this enough, it's going to kickstart your unconscious mind to say, gee whiz, I forgot about this. Let's do it again. Because you know that thing you've been thinking of? Boom. Here it is again. Here's something else. Oh, by the way, have you thought about this one? Boom, another one comes in. And then what are you going to do? Well, you've got the process inside you anyway. But then what I want you to do is just, as you think of one, go, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to take action. Because that's the whole point. Didn't we say you have to decide to commit? And once you've committed, you've got to commit to take action. Because without action, knowledge is absolutely nothing. You can know everything. If you don't take action, waste of time. Waste of time. So you're going to take action. You're going to take inspired action. And some people might even take massive inspired action. But I just think action is massive anyway, because you weren't doing it before and now you are. But you're doing it with that wonderful feeling of the things that used to really make you buzz, and we've remembered them. And the thing is, because you've written them down, you can keep coming back to them and remember them. And then that might inspire you to think of another time, or write down the one you're doing now. And then if you want, you could share it with people. Yeah, wow. Sharing. Isn't that a thing to do? Because when you share, we've talked about this before, haven't we? This old thing you bang on about, Cluffy, the integrated field of learning. When you share it, you keep all that inspiration, but you inspire others. And when you inspire others, they will inspire you. It's paid back 10 times, 100 times. It's not karma. It's just that law of reciprocation. I can never say that, but the law of reciprocation. Give out, you get it back. And we're going to do more on this, I'm sure, because this is, I didn't know really what I was going to be speaking about. I got some notes, obviously, but I didn't realize how much fire in my belly it gets. My heart is pumping now, just thinking about you and the things that you're remembering. Because that little thing about, sitting back in my quiet place, a little bit of music was going on. I forgot to tell you about that, because I had a little Bluetooth thing. I used to listen to music at the same time. So I'm now telling my unconscious mind this or something better. And because we're reliving good things, what are we doing? We have got that wonderful vibration, that energy that's going to radiate off us and from us. And it goes to other people. It goes into your house, goes into your quiet space, if you've got a quiet space, or like mine. Because every time I come back to it, it was awesome. And when I was doing the recordings, I took that feeling with me into the recording room, which was my clinic room. And of course, when I was working with people, guess what? I was inspired just to carry on doing this stuff. And it becomes, you're creating the most wonderful habit. The wonderful habit of being supposedly an ordinary person, because you're not, with the capability of actually doing the things that you are doing extraordinary and building upon them and pushing away that comfort familiar zone, because you're like on the outside of it now, dragging it, making it bigger and bolder and brighter and filling it with so much stuff. That's awesome, isn't it? One thing at a time. And we create the life that we were meant to have. Because I think you'll also find, and this has come to me, these will, when you look back at them, have a look back at your notes when you finish them. Just notice those things that really gave you the most inspiration, the most tingle, the most aha, the most whatever. Notice what direction they were pointing to. Was it your passion? Was it your vision? The reason you're here? Just notice. That might give you the clue. Because everyone's going, oh, you've got to work, be in doing your passion all the time. Maybe you just are and you didn't realize it. Because I notice all the things I've cited, they're all part of my passion now. And I was passionate about it. And it's what you're passionate about joins together, I guess, as this whole bit of passion. And we love passion, don't we? I remember Tony Robbins always used to finish off his tape recordings, as I used to have them, with live with passion. And that's awesome. It's a bit corny, but it works, doesn't it? Because if you do live a life with passion in everything you do, well, it's passionate. And people get it. And you get it. And you vibrate it. And your unconscious mind goes, oh, well, let's have a bit more. And then life becomes, pretty awesome. Obstacles along the way, our little hero's journey, but those obstacles are making us stronger so we can take even bigger leaps into passion. So, there you go. I don't know how many times I've said so. I don't think I said that many times this time. And if you got something from this, and if you do take a little bit of time to remember, do share them with me. I'd love to hear them. Feedback at personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Just send me an email, and if you'd like me to share them on the podcast, of course I will. But the thing is, it'll always be anonymous, because I just want to share and inspire other people. And if you've got a new aha moment out of this, a new bit of inspiration, share that with me too. But most importantly, share it with the people around you. And you're going to share it anyway, just by your actions and your behaviors and your just positivity, as it were. But do all that. And if you've obviously got something out of this, share the podcast. I always say that. And you got the hypnosis tracks. They're at no, they're not. They're at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. And there's all hypnosis tracks there. And I want to tell you all about those all again. And I want you to just listen to this last bit again. I know I do it every time, but have a little listen. And it'll make a difference. And you're going to make a difference. We're going to make a difference. Everything is going to make a difference for the positive. Hope you enjoyed this longer podcast. I know the 5-minute quickies are a little bit longer now, but I hope you enjoy this. And I'm going to dive into this a bit more, because I want to inspire you from not thinking about being ordinary, but being extraordinary, because you are. Have more fun than you can stand. Enjoy every heartbeat. And as old Tony Robbins says, live with passion. Just before you go, if you've just got a second or two, please have a listen. Why don't you share this? Share this podcast with just one person today, and then one person tomorrow, and one person after that. What would happen if we all did that? And why not subscribe? It's so easy to do. Find the platform of your choice. If it's iTunes or it's Castbox or any others, there's loads of them. Search for either Paul Clough or Personal Development Unplugged, and then there's a big subscribe button. Press that subscribe button and it'll be there. You get the podcast twice a week, on a Wednesday and a Saturday. Never have to look any further. And if you would, why not put one of those reviews up? That would be awesome, because that just moves it around this integrated field of learning, as it were, and becomes and gets in front of other people. Which is what we want, isn't it? To be the change we want to see in others and help others change to be the change they want to see in themselves. There you go. I'm going to speak to you real soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun. Enjoy every heartbeat.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.